Have people in Sean Combs' orbit, have they had conversations with the Trump administration?
Yes. My understanding is that we have reached out.
Reached out is one thing, having a conversation is another. Do you know if there have been active conversations about a pardon?
Yes, it's my understanding that we've reached out and had conversations in reference to a pardon.
So that was Sean Diddy Combs' attorney there, speaking to CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister in August. Elizabeth joins me now. So there's some news on this front. You've been covering this Diddy thing for so long now. In terms of when he's going to get out, what do we know?
Yes, so news this week is that Sean Combs' prison release date has been set for May of 2028. You remember, Alex, that earlier this month that the judge had sentenced him to just over 4 years. So 2028, obviously less than 4 years. That's because that factors in time served. He's already been in jail for a year. But it's interesting that the news is that there's a release date because his team is still fighting to get him out. They don't want him to be there at all.
They want him out right away. They thought that he was potentially going to get out when he was sentenced.
Yes.
And you've got a statement from them now.
Yes. So literally, Alex, just hours ago, his team filed their latest motion for an expedited appeal. So what this means is, of course, they will be appealing, but they are saying that they want this to happen as quickly as possible. Here's a statement that I obtained from his attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, today. She tells me, quote, Sean has already served more than a year in jail, and we are hoping the court can hear his appeal in time for it to matter. Sean's appeal will challenge the unfair use of the Mann Act, an infamous statute with a sordid history, to prosecute him for sex with consenting adults. So again, they have always maintained that this was consensual, that these are adults. Of course, that is not what the conviction said, and that's not what the judge said when he sentenced him. The judge came down very harsh on him, but they are appealing.
So is there a timeline on the appeal or when it potentially could be heard?
His team is laying out a timeline that they want this to happen before the end of the year. They want their arguments to be heard in December. As you heard there from his attorney, they know that there is a ticking clock because his sentence is not that long, relatively speaking. He could have been facing life in prison. Now he's facing under 4 years.
So we heard in August them talking about this idea of a pardon or commutation with you for the first time. Have we learned that there's any more conversations happening on that? Have we heard from the president's team on that?
So look, here's what I want to tell you. There is a lot of rumor out there, right? There's a lot of tabloid reports that this is being strongly considered by the White House, that he may be commuted or he may be pardoned. You heard when I asked his attorney there months ago, we got the first confirmation that they had reached out. I will tell you from my sources, that's really all that this is. That is what I am hearing, that Diddy's team, they are making continuous efforts to reach out. President Trump, he told our colleague, Caitlin Collins, that yes, he did reach out, but that's all we've heard.
Yeah.
A reach out is very different than a conversation.
Than conversations or negotiations or a date like there. All right, Elizabeth, while you're here, we want to have some fun as well. You have some White Lotus news.
Yes.
Stick with us. More of the story is.